Welcome to On the Edge with April Mahoney Brains. You're at the spot, the place, where the conversation is pointed, the guests are sharp, and the responses are never dull. Did you bring your thinking caps? It's time to put them on, because the conversation starts now. Welcome to On the Edge with April Mahoney Brains. You are back at the spot, the place, where the conversations are pointed, the guests are sharp, and the responses are never dull. Today, we are going to the land down under. We're going back to Australia to visit with Justine Martin. Justine Martin is a Mompreneur Award winner. She's an author. She is a survivor of domestic violence. She's the author of 14 books. And we'll talk about her new release that's coming out. She's an artist. She's a speaker. She's a grandmother. She's a publisher, and a whole lot more. Let's welcome her to the show. How are you, Justine?
Good, thanks, April. How are you?
I'm at the top of my game. So tell my brains a little bit more about you and how you show up in the world.
Well, I say to people that I've had two lives. So I had one prior to 2011, before I became diagnosed and disabled with multiple sclerosis, and then the life that I've been living since 2011, which my diagnosis is actually 15 years this week.
Congratulations on being in the best condition that you can possibly be in. So tell them a little bit about your entrepreneurial ventures. You've done so many things and so many businesses in so many ways.
Yes, look, I have, April, and it wasn't set out that way. I kind of stumbled into it after I was told by a medical practitioner that I'd never be able to work again. And then by an employment agency that told me that there wasn't enough money or time to retrain me. So I picked up a paintbrush, I learned how to paint, and everything started to flow from there. So I registered my first business called JUZT, which is still going even today. I illustrate children's books. We run art wellness classes for people with disabilities. I do commission work. So that was the first business that came about. Then the next one came from my journey from having three primary cancers at once and two other blood conditions, and everyone wanting to know how I got through and so positive. So that's when resilience mindset then started. So I'm a resilience coach and consultant. And international keynote speaker on the topic of resilience, and obviously my story. Then came the next business, which was Morpheus Publishing, and that has just grown legs. It's like this little snowball that is now an avalanche, and we now publish other people with disabilities. We hand out scholarships to those people who can't afford to publish their own books. And it was just one business that has led from the adversity that I've been through to start the next one. So there's now four businesses and then one company and the corporation that is over the top.
Well, that's wonderful. What would you say to a person that's struggling right now that is, in their darkest, deepest despair? How would you encourage them to keep going?
I tell them to ask for help. That would probably be the first thing I would do. And if the first person they ask for help can't help them, then ask someone else. You can't build resilience by yourself. It takes a tribe around you to do that. And asking for help is always a sign of strength. It's never a sign of weakness. So don't feel that you've failed because you have to ask for help.
Absolutely. Everyone needs a helpmate. What is a conversation that you have inside your own head to build that resilience? Because that's an inside job.
That there's no such thing as can't. I just have to find a way to do it depending on what my mind and my body is actually doing at that particular time. So adapt and modify is what I live by.
That's great. What do you do personally for fun and recreation? Just for yourself.
Ah, who gets time for that nowadays? Fun. I love to travel, and although I'm traveling for work a lot of the time. I get to see new places and meet new people. I do have downtime. I catch up with my friends and I socialize with friends and family. and I love to dance. So I love a good band at a pub and get my boogie on.
All right. Well, that's good. That's really good. What is the inspiration for some of the books that you write? I mean, is there between being an author and an artist, um, where do you find your inspiration?
Oh, look, I find it from life moments that are happening all around us. My mum always said to me, if you don't like something in the world, stand up and try and change it. So my first book that I brought out, same but different, was all about inclusion and equality. Wouldn't it be nice if the world all liked each other, especially, at the moment with what's happening in the world? So that was the foundation of the first book that I wrote and illustrated. All the other books, it's just life moments that are happening around me, and I see, a message or a sign there, and then I just talk about it.
Take us into the pages of Moxie.
So Moxie turned out bigger than what I expected it was going to be. I thought it was, I always thought I'd be pushing to write 2,000 words, let alone 20,000, 30,000, or it ended up at 170,000 words. It is a very, very big book. Um, I'm very proud of it. I was told all the way through school that she can't spell, she can't write. Yet here I am, an Amazon best-selling author. This book has got to the top 10 on Amazon. It's my life story. It's about the grit, the determination, the courage, the resilience that I built all the way through it. So it's not actually a self-help book. It is my full memoir of my life, and I do talk about everything in there, the domestic violence, the rape, the good times in there. It's not all doom and gloom. The birth of both my children, grandchildren, how I built this empire that I now have.
That's amazing. It's a lot of, again, grit, but it's a lot of vulnerability. And people
Yes.
don't want to be vulnerable. They don't want to pull back the layers. They want to blame other individuals. They want to be the sacrificial lamb. How do we continue to show our courage as individuals and not listen to the outside noise and the negativity?
I stay in my own lane. So I stopped watching the major online, like TV news back in 2019. I don't compare my journey to anyone else's because we're all different and we're different in everything that we actually do. I mean, my mum had MS, but her journey with MS is totally different to what my journey is. So, my favorite saying that my aunt has said to me and drummed into me for many, many years is Justy, stay in your own lane. And if you want to think of it as even, a Clydesdale horse with blinkers on, that you just hyper focus on what you want to do, not what you're expected to do, but what you want to do in life. Because, we only get one life and we make the best of it. And I sure as hell don't want to get to my deathbed, which I've been on a couple of times, I might add, April, and say, geez, I wish I'd done that. I wish I'd tried that.
Right.
I try, adapt and modify, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, I try again.
Right. Absolutely. It's about that, again, resilience and not ever giving up or giving in. That's hard for a lot of people. A lot of people
I
are
think
empathic.
people put the expectation as well that, with resilience, I mean, it is a bit of a buzzword, that things have to be done straight away. And it doesn't happen that way. You can stop and pause and and just breathe and work out, okay, what's my next little step forward? What do I have to do? And that might be, I've just got to get out of bed tomorrow. I've just got to have a shower. I've just got to make my bed tomorrow. Self-care is the number one thing that we should all be doing in our lives, and then everything else comes second.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that. It's about taking care of self and putting on your oxygen mask first.
That's exactly right.
Well, that's great. How did you come up with the name of your most recent book, Moxie? What does that mean to you?
So Moxie is actually a very old-fashioned word that has been brought back recently. So Moxie means grit, determination, courage, resilience, passion. I was known as the Queen of Resilience for a long time after everything that I've been through, and it was my writing coach that knew that I kept saying, but there's more to me than just being the Queen of Resilience. There's far more. And he actually heard the word Moxie when he was watching an old movie. And that resonated with him. And he then spoke to me and said, look, I think, you should be using this word, Moxie. And then I looked into it and I went, that's the name of my memoir. And it's also my license plate numbers on my car now as
Oh,
well.
well
So,
done. Yeah, I know a lot of my British uh, guests use the word moxie from
yeah.
from
Yeah.
London.
It is actually over here in Australia. I don't know about where you are, April, but it's a tampon brand as well. So
Oh wow.
it's a necessity.
Right. It's definitely yeah, something that you would need. So
Yes.
if you could have a conversation with a 25-year-old Justine Martin, what would you say to her?
Um, I would say go and get counseling. Go and get counseling right away. Um, that would stop me then making a hell of a lot of mistakes until I did go and get counseling in my 40s. Um, that ask for help. I didn't ask for help. That 25-year-old didn't ask for help. She thought she could do it all by herself, and
Yeah,
she couldn't.
that's a it's a lot to ask for help, but excuse me, it would be amazing to see what kind of results you get if you just show your
Yeah.
vulnerability and you say, hey, look, raise my hand. I need help with this, cleaning the house, simple things, maybe babysitting for someone, maybe loaning someone some money and you know that they're in need. It's the simple things that you can do. You don't have to make a big ask. So let me ask you
No.
some fun questions. If you were an appliance in the kitchen, what appliance would you be and why?
Oh my God, April, where do you get these questions from?
I know.
Um, I'd be an air fryer.
Ah, okay. Air
Hmm.
fryer. Why?
Because it heats up food speedy and fast, and you can get on to the next task in life. And that's me.
I think I'd be one of these high-end garbage cans. Have you seen them?
No.
Well, they're fabulous. They do everything for you because I want to be the place where you dispose of the things that no longer serve you. I want to be the place where you can recycle. I want to be the place that you take out often and regularly. I want to be a place that you decide to keep clean. So, yes, get one. They compost. They're wonderful. They're absolutely amazing. If you were a flower in the garden, Justine, what flower would you be?
I'd be a pansy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. A little pansy. They were my nana's favorite flower, and they take me back to a time in my childhood that I loved her. And my dog, I've got a mini dash hound, and her name is actually Pansy.
Oh,
Either that or a snapdragon.
oh, okay. Those are pretty too.
Yeah.
So, what is your superpower?
Oh, my superpower would be Moxie.
Okay.
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah,
What makes you cry?
pretty much everything. I'm going through menopause.
Oh gosh.
What makes me cry? My grandchildren. I cry out of happiness on things that, they do, or I've got a 6-year-old grandson and he wants to come away on holidays with me, just him and I. So we're off to Queensland next month and I'm taking just him and I on a holiday together. So, things like that make me cry that I'm, a good nanny and um yeah,
And they want to
that
be around you,
they
so
want to be around me. That's right. They often ring me and say, "Can I come stay at your place tonight?" And especially my granddaughter, I'm like, "You want to get away from your brothers?" And she's like, "Yes." So, I spoil them and
Oh,
Um,
you think?
yeah, yeah, well, yeah. They make me cry. What makes me cry is seeing people in pain and in agony and not reaching out for help, and that makes me cry. This war that's going on at the moment, that's upset me
Which one?
tremendously.
I don't know which one which one
Yeah,
you're
there's a
talking about.
few.
Pick one. Pick one. Is
Yeah.
you know, what um what do you do to get inside yourself, to get inside your own head? I mean, outside of the pain or the sickness or the work or whatever, what do you just do for you?
Look, I go to regular counseling for me, because if things aren't right in my head, then I can't function with anyone. And I don't believe that it's my family or my friends' responsibility to hear me verbally dump everything of what's going on in my life and my body. So I pay someone to do that. I'll gladly hand over $150 to go in and verbally have diarrhea to her and then walk out going, well, that's your problem now. I've just
Right.
paid you to hear all of that. Um, I turn off electronics a lot. I just sit in silence. I'm quite happy with my own company now. I've learnt that I don't need a man or a partner to make me happy. Um, I'm finally at a place in my life where I have true happiness with everything that is around me, and I'm not searching for happiness.
Yeah, it's a big ask. A lot of people don't know who they are. They don't even know. I talked to someone the other day, and they said they didn't even know what love is, and
Mm,
that hurt me to my heart because you don't know what it feels like. It says no. I have trouble identifying it. I have trouble recognizing it.
yeah.
So, so maybe you can give them your therapist's phone number, and they could do something
Well, I
online.
think, when I wrote the book, the chapter in Moxie called Shame, and you were talking about vulnerability, and, people don't like to be vulnerable, but a lot of us walk around with shame of things that we've done or been through, in our life. And when I finally dealt with the shame in my life, my whole perspective just changed on
Yeah.
everything.
Shame is something that is injected into us by outside influences, by
That's
other
right.
people's opinions, or even our own false expectations.
That's right.
You can't expect for someone to do a certain thing because if they don't do that, then they've broken your trust.
Yes.
And if there's no trust, then there's no love. Then it's just a snowball effect, one thing
Mm,
after another. So we really have to rely on self, know who self is, have a conversation with self. And again,
mm.
off boarded with meditation, Tai Chi, counseling.
A lot of mine as well, when I'm creating art, so I illustrate children's books nowadays, and that all happened when COVID came about and all the galleries closed down. But I know that when I'm in the studio just by myself creating something magical, I go into my own little world and talk to myself, reply to myself. Isn't that the first sign of madness when you reply to yourself, talk back to yourself? But I get a lot of answers, and if I'm
I love
struggling
to
with
talk to
something,
myself because sometimes I'm the smartest person in the room because
that's exactly right.
I'm the only person in the room.
That's
But
exactly right.
but I love that. I love that. So yeah, I talk to myself often and regularly. I don't have a problem with it because
No,
again, that's self actualization. You've got a ton of awards back there. How many Mompreneur awards
I
do
have.
you have? Oh my God.
29, I'm 30 because I won one on the weekend. So
Uh,
thirty awards since 2021.
tell us a little bit about the Mompreneurs. What does that
The
look
Osmompreneur ones. So I've won 18 of those ones, and it's a women's organisation here in Australia for mums in business. And the connections that I've made and the love that I've been shown through that community, I wouldn't probably be where I am with my businesses if it wasn't for the Osmompreneur community with Peace and Katie. I've spoken on stage. I've won a scholarship through them in 2022 to help set up Morpheus Publishing. Uh, they have, stretched their arms out to the community, and I've got some lifelong friends from that organisation. I did say last year that I wasn't going to enter any more Osmompreneur Awards, so we'll see what happens this year. It's in September. I did do a bit of judging last year on categories that I wasn't part of. So that was an honour to do that as well. But the organisers of Osmompreneurs also organise the Women Changing the World Awards, which are being held in Paris next month. And I'm up for 7
Oh, wow.
Women Changing the World Awards and going to the conference and the award day. So I can't wait for that one.
You're going to absolutely have.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a great time. So, and then on the weekend, I just won a heart. It was called a Heart Award at the Heart of Women Awards on the Gold Coast in Queensland. So that was the last one that I won. But I don't enter awards just for me. I enter them to show other people that despite what's ever wrong in your life, in my case, all my disabilities, that you can still compete on a national and global platform despite the disabilities that you have.
Well, disabilities in one area are abilities in other areas.
That's right.
So I'm so glad that you are feeling good today, because that's all we have is the moment, it's the present.
That's
And
right.
please tell my brains how to get in contact with you. Um, I'm going to put all your contact information back there if they want to look at one of the books. I'd love for you guys to all run out and get a copy of Moxie, the brand new book that's coming out. Where's it at? Oh, look at that. That's
It's
gorgeous.
big.
That's gorgeous.
So it's available through justinemartin.com.au. It is also available on Amazon and on Kindle.
Oh, see?
And all major online bookstores all have it, but they put a bit extra on it. So go to Amazon
Are
and
you
grab
going to
it.
create an audio version?
I am, and it's funny you say that because my girlfriend actually owns a recording studio, and I sent her a message saying, "Hey, it's finished. Can you give me a quote on how much to turn it into an Audible book?" And she sent me 3 different prices, and in the email, I nearly fell over with the top price for someone else to record the voice. And she goes, I think you really, 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 really should do it yourself. And I'm like, oh, when am I gonna find time in the next, couple of months? Because I have so many overseas trips and trips away with other people's book launches and awards and everything.
Mhm.
So I've been sitting on it, April, and yes, when I do come back, probably in May, June, I'll head into the recording studio, but it's 170,000 words. So I do think it's going to take me about 3 to 6 months to actually sit and record it all. But it's not going out of date anytime soon. So
And it's
by
like
the end
giving
of the
it's like
year,
giving birth, you know?
yeah.
You have to cultivate it, and people want to hear, they would love to hear your voice. So many
Mm,
times authors don't read their own books, but your own voice inflection, your own passion, your own pain, your own joy, your own giggle. They would
yeah.
love that so much. Again, just take your time.
Yeah,
The
that's
books.
right. And look, I do have all the recording devices here because I too run a podcast on resilience mindset. And I'm like, well, if I can do that, I can sit and read my own words. So
Yeah.
they'll come in and they'll set everything up, all the levels and everything up for me correctly. And we'll go from there. So who knows, you might get me back on in another 6, 12 months and it'll be an Audible book. But I do have another book coming out in the next couple of months called Moxie Courage. So although this one isn't a self-help book, the next ones, there's a series of them actually coming out, are the self-help books on how you can get courage in your own life and how you can find grit in your own life and determination. So that's come out of this book. So there's always something on the card.
Justine, I am so excited about Moxie. Would you grace us with a short excerpt so that we can get a taste and a feel for what we have to look forward to.
Sure. When I look back across the chapters of my life, it feels like I'm watching different versions of myself walk across the same landscape. The frightened young woman, the overwhelmed mother, the fighter battling illness, the advocate, the artist, the business owner, the speaker, the survivor, and the soft-centered warrior I have become today. Writing this book has forced me to gather all those versions together, hold them close, and honour them. I spent 6 very long years writing Moxie, stopping and starting, falling and rising, healing and hurting, living and learning. Finishing it on my 55th birthday feels like the moment the universe planned long before I did. A perfect closing of one life chapter and the opening of another. And somewhere in the writing of it, one question kept whispering through my mind. What if? What if I'd never walked through that art studio door? What if I had let fear win? What if the woman I used to be stayed trapped inside the limits life set around her? What if I'd never discovered the strength I hold inside me now? What if I'd never learnt to harden the F up? What if I'd never softened the hell down? These questions are not regrets, they are reflections. They are acknowledgements of just how close I came to missing the life I have now.
What a gift. What an absolute gift. And the biggest gift is, again, self actualization. You
Yes.
actually realize it. So many people have things, they're not grateful, they don't
Mm.
appreciate it, they overthink it, they overuse it, they misuse it, they mistreat it. So when I hear people with sincere gratitude and appreciation, even for your adversity, because you wouldn't have a testimony.
No.
You have a true testimony. You have something that you can pour into others. And I commend you for that. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. Please tell my brains how to get in contact with you. I'd love for them to share in the wisdom.
They can get in contact with me through justinemartin.com.au, and I get all emails and messages through there.
Well, we are going to put that at the back of the interview. Brains, I need you to go in, love, like, share, and subscribe. Pay attention. You didn't have to pay to get up in here, so pay attention, okay? Thank you so much for doing this, Justine. I really, really appreciate you taking the time, using your energy to share this with the listeners on the edge and other people that think that there's no hope. There is resilience. There is Moxie.
There is Moxie. Thanks for having me, April.
Thank you. Brains, have a good day. I love you.